Ever feel like you're bending over backwards for your clients, but your bank account is still looking pretty sad? I get it because I've been there myself. People pleasing is a poverty mindset that needs to be fixed immediately. I used to think being the nice guy is the way to getting more clients, but I ended up being taken advantage of and burning out in the process. But after turning things around and helping thousands of business owners do the same with this people pleasing pattern, I've seen exactly what kind of behaviors kill your sales and how you can fix that. Hi, my name is Mario Lanzarotti, and in this video, I'm going to share the exact moment I realized I had a people pleasing problem. The tipping point that made me say enough is enough, and the steps I took to overcome the pattern and create a thriving business. If you feel people pleasing or being the nice guy is holding you back in business and in life, this video is for you. What was the moment in which I realized that people pleasing was really hurting me? Let me tell you the story of how I worked with a prominent coach and a very big agency to help me create more clients. I had been paying them thousands of dollars every month. I wasn't getting any results. And then I had a conversation with a friend of mine who's a coach. He asked me how things were going, and he asked me about my recent investment because I was super excited about it. And I had told him that we've been working together for 3 months, but I haven't really seen any results yet. He asked me, well, that's strange for the money that you're paying. Have you addressed that with them? And I said, not really. He said, why? I realized I was afraid to speak truth, even though I was paying money for it. I went back to them, had a conversation with both of them. I wasn't happy. I wanted out of the arrangement. Both of them individually convinced me, or more precisely, allowed them to convince me to give it another chance. I did. I ended up working with both of them for another month, and you guessed it, still no results. I'd shared it with my friend who kept asking me about it, and he said to me, when are you going to end this relationship that clearly isn't working for you? In that moment, I was overcome with anxiety, and I realized, damn, I have a problem. I am paying thousands of dollars, not getting results, afraid to draw a boundary. That is why I chose to do something about it. And I'm going to tell you now the steps that I took to crush this pattern and finally build the confidence to create a thriving business through consistent sales. Step number one is to build more awareness. It starts with identifying the root cause of this pattern. For me, I grew up in a household where I would often be the one holding space for my parents. If I saw a parent in distress, I would put aside my feelings and my needs to focus on their emotions. What I learned is when I put on the nice guy face, even if I didn't feel like that, I would get validation. That would feel really good. This is how the people pleaser was born. The second thing was for me to identify what is the trigger that brings out the people pleaser. When it happens, I can actually make a new choice. For me, it was seeing people in distress, people crying, people suffering, seeing people even yelling would immediately bring a great deal of discomfort up in myself. When people are in that state, I would make it mean it's because of something I did or something I haven't yet done. Immediately, I put my true feelings to the side and I put on the nice guy face so I can take care of them and get the validation. The third thing that I did was to acknowledge the impact this pattern was having on my business and on my life. This is where things started changing because I noticed that in sales conversations, I would very often give in to people's demands about discounts, about working conditions. I said, here's how my process works. They're like, no, I don't like that. Can we do it this way? Instead of 6 months, can we do it for 2 months? Instead of this amount of money, can I pay you in this way? And I would just say, yeah, I was afraid they were going to say no to me. I was attracting a lot of misaligned people to get on my calls. My closing rates were going down, and I ended up closing some of those people. But guess what? Those became terrible clients. Just thinking about a session with them would lower my energy and make me feel like, oh God, I can't wait for the session to be over. So guess what? Now I was fearing sales conversation because my mind was like, wait, you're going to get more of that kind of person. Not happening. My sales tanked. Because of that, I was struggling in my business, couldn't live the kind of life that I wanted. I couldn't travel the way that I wanted. I couldn't afford the things that I wanted. And it just sucked, man. I felt less of a man because I wanted to be a provider for my girlfriend, today wife, and I couldn't because I just didn't have the money. That really messed with my confidence. Now, with this newfound sense of awareness, I had a great deal of power. Now it was all about taking back control. I did that through boundaries. I did it small. In the beginning, I simply wrote down what are my green flags and what are my red flags for people that I work with. Who is it that I don't tolerate to get into my space, and who is a champion to be in my space? That clarity was amazing. The next step was to understand what is my baseline for the money that I work for. How much money can you pay me at a minimum for you and I to work together? And I will not go underneath that minimum barrier. Finally, I wrote another boundary down. When am I working? When am I available for clients? When am I available for team members? I set those parameters in place. Out of setting those boundaries came another shift about prioritizing my time and energy, where I made a conscious decision to say that my time is sacred. The way that I spend my time is an investment for the life that I get to live. That meant very clearly all the green flag people in, all the red flag people out. Was that an easy thing to do? Definitely not, but it was worth it. The third thing that I did in this process was a mindset shift to build confidence within me. The place that I started was self-worth. It was about the value I placed on who I am. What I did first was write a letter where I would list out what is it about me that is truly valuable? What is it about the things that I provide and that I create for the world that is truly valuable, and why? I wrote that letter, one-page document, and I started reading it out every day, once in the morning and once in the evening. Because of that, I started to ask myself the question, if I truly valued myself, how would I act in this situation? I raised my prices. I fired some clients. I was very clear with my boundaries and the communication of that. I started to have a lot more difficult conversations about how I truly felt. I let people know that, hey, that thing that you did last time we met hurt me. You not showing up on time is not something that I appreciate. Not delivering what you said you're going to deliver on doesn't work for me, and it has consequences. And I started doing more of that, and I saw even more shifts occur. With that came new agreements in my relationships. I made it clear I want my relationships only to be about win-win scenarios, where I would not get into a relationship with a person that I knew is not here to serve me. Only people that have a service mindset. That meant, again, sorting out people. That was uncomfortable, but it was extremely liberating. I would embrace discomfort as a teacher rather than to be avoided. That helped me to understand that fear is not to be eliminated in life, but fear is like a compass. It's like a radar screen. It shows you, oh, this is the area where I'm not free. In this relationship, I'm still doing the people-pleasing thing. That gave me ammunition for me to do more inner work. It was incredible to see how much I grew in such a short period of time once I decided to put this people-pleasing thing down. The step in the mindset shift that I underwent was to learn to become my own booster. If you're no longer getting the validation from people because you're no longer people-pleasing, where do you get it from? You got to get it from within yourself. Find your own resources. For me, the number one is always God, because God's validation and love and affirmation is infinite and is unconditional. I learned to lean on God's love again and again, moment to moment. Now this is my infinite booster I can access within me at any given time. The final step, which is probably one of the most important ones, is I had to realize there was going to be a lot of pushback. How would I deal with that sense of rejection that I was petrified of? I understood rejection is just redirection. When you are rejected, it shows who is a red flag and who is a green flag in your life. I learned to thank rejection because it helped me avoid a lot of suffering. People are just not meant to work with you. You're not there to be liked by everyone. When I hear a no today, it reminds me of next one. No is another step to a yes. All of these no's really make space for that one aligned divine yes that is coming. This kind of framework really helped me put an end to the whole people pleasing pattern. Sometimes I still notice that I'm people pleasing, and that's okay because I'm a human being. With all of these steps, it takes time. Sometimes it requires you to reach higher, to do more courageous things, to set bigger goals, to realize, oh, there's an area where I'm still people pleasing that I never actually saw. It will only be revealed to you when you set bigger goals and are after bigger missions. Now you know how people pleasing wrecks your sales conversions and harms your life. But honestly, this is just one piece of the puzzle to build a thriving business. If you want to learn how to really get your shit together and build that incredible business that you're looking for in 2025, click this video here and I'll see you on the inside. Peace out.